All right, good evening to you from the Storm Alert Weather Center. This is lead forecaster Daniel Wilson. It's Sunday afternoon, about 5:17 or so. We're not a lot of activity going on here, but we want to talk a little bit about what's going on around the United States and something very big out in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. They have a moderate risk of severe weather underway now for persons there in parts of Texas and Oklahoma. Uh, Tornado watches are in effect and storm watches are in effect. But the wild thing about this is something that we rarely see is the issuance of a derecho, and they're expecting wind speeds around 100 miles per hour. That's expected later on this evening. And that's expected to be a very critical situation for people out west there in Texas. So if you know anyone in Texas, Oklahoma area, you need to advise them that the weather is going to get rough out to the west, and people in that area should be heads up tonight for the likelihood of severe weather. Tornado watches and storm watches are in effect uh, for those areas this evening. A little bit of information for you out to the west. All right, and taking our turn back to Kentucky, this is an outlook for tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center has indicated a slight risk of severe weather, mainly for the northern area around the Cincinnati, Louisville metro area along the I 64 corridor. And this is a slight risk of severe weather tomorrow. And you may say, well, why are you mentioning that for us if, or why are you even talking about it if it's that far north of us out of our area? Well, the thing about it is, we have very concerning another day of very windy weather. This is a look at the models for tomorrow. A lot of people sometimes get confused and they think that this is exactly how things are going to play out tomorrow, but this is simply a product that shows what could happen tomorrow. And we're looking at winds 35, 40, 45 miles per hour, could gust 50 up to 65 miles per hour tomorrow in areas. And again, this is the Monday wind gust model. This is showing you what we can expect tomorrow. It's going to be a blustery day with rain showers likely throughout the day, starting later on tonight. Wind advisory is in effect for all of Kentucky, and that's going to put the whole state in a windy situation tomorrow. So if you have any plans, I know I made a post on my Facebook page, my personal page, that if you were to have any of those little styrofoam peanuts, if you happen to have those out in your yard, you better get them in because they'll probably end up a couple of towns away if you don't. It's going to be a windy day tomorrow. Again, looking at the wind gust map that we put together, this is based on models of 35, 40, 45 miles per hour tomorrow. Wind gusts 50 up to 60 miles per hour is also possible. So a very blustery day across the state tomorrow. Mid-morning radar models show that isolated showers, maybe some thunderstorm activity is possible. Rumbles of thunder are likely. as the system moves through. Not a big, widespread severe weather event tomorrow, but we are going to have very strong winds. A lot of the damage, or some of the damage, that occurred last Thursday resulted in 50, 60 miles per hour wind. So just because it's not a severe storm, and these are gradient winds as they move through the area, we could have problems with power outages tomorrow around the region. So keep that in mind as we make our way through the day tomorrow. Now, as we make our turn, of course, today is the 26th day of February, and we try to keep our weather fresh and up to date, and I believe in warning people, getting the word out. I think that's very vital. And as we make our way into March, we have another event that we're watching, and this is it's kind of hard to believe, and don't let the colors and the numbers freak anybody out, because it's simply a few days away. But around the third day of March, we're looking at another high wind event, and we could see winds much like that what we're expected to see tomorrow. That would be around March the 3rd, and it does not seem to be very much different, even though the model map may be a little bit more on the high side. This will all change between now and then. But again, March the 3rd, another high wind event across Kentucky and across the Lake Cumberland area. We want to say a big thank you to everybody who tunes in to the Storm Alert Weather Center. We appreciate the confidence that people have put in our outreach. Now, if you have friends and family that do not have Facebook, and maybe you're out on the road somewhere and you need to check your phone, maybe you're at work and you're not allowed to have Facebook, go to stormalertcenter.com, stormalertcenter.com, and our live videos is right there, just as we have on Facebook. And there's also a link there that shows you all of our surrounding counties, and if there's a watch or warning, that's in effect for that area. So stormalertcenter.com is where you need to go. stormalertcenter.com. That will help you get another source for weather information. So remember, tomorrow we do have a wind advisory in effect. It's going to be blustery tomorrow throughout the area. People out west, many thoughts and prayers for those people as they're getting ready tonight to endure possibly 100 plus mile an hour winds. Tornado watches in effect. A derecho is expected to move through parts of Texas and Oklahoma. So we remembering those folks. And as we enter the severe storms preparedness month, I want to say just very briefly, the weather has been so unsettled. I'm not hitting the doomsday button. I'm not going out on a limb and doing any kind of wild predictions. But the way things are going, it's likely that we potentially could see an active severe weather season. And we're going to try to be there here for you and keep you updated and informed. That's why that I choose to do the videos occasionally. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Storm Alert Weather Center. Again, if you have friends that do not have Facebook, they can go to stormalertcenter.com and still receive our live video feeds. So thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate everybody for their untiring efforts to help us. A lot of people sends us video, pictures, and messages during the storms, and we appreciate that. But what I try to do is to be focused on going on the scene, being there, giving you a firsthand account, and being live on location. That is very, very important. As one of my old broadcasting buddies used to say, use the word vital, and it's very, very vital that that media is part of what's going on. You can get a 360-degree view of what's happening when we're there, bringing you that information. If the unfortunate day comes when we have major problems from storms that pass through. Of course, we did that during the flooding situation. That was in 2019. We were at the Wolf Creek Dam many times, Lake Cumberland State Park, Jamestown Marina, Cumberland Falls, all those locations. We were there, and we appreciate the support. Also, even though it was out of our coverage area, we were the local media outlet that covered extensively the tornado that went through Dawson Springs in western Kentucky. Then we were in eastern Kentucky for the devastating floods, and we're here for the people of Russell and surrounding counties, and then other counties too that turn in for us for severe weather coverage. Now, when the bad storms move through, if they start popping up in Bowling Green, west of Bowling Green, wherever, we're going to be there bringing you that information. Just the general thunderstorms, probably Russell and surrounding, but we take weather serious. We have people all over the state that follows us. In fact, during the tornadoes in western Kentucky, we had people that were switching between Bill Mack and some of the Lexington TV outlets. They were going between us and some of those major markets up north. And the main reason BKO was off the air, and they've been hit by the tornado, or at least impacted by it. So we take weather serious. We appreciate everybody, no matter where you are or who you are, for joining us. And we will be back tomorrow if necessary to bring you weather coverage. Expect the potential for some power outages around from falling tree limbs and fallen trees. So with that being said, we want to say thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate everybody for depending on the Storm Alert Weather Center, your weather authority in South Central Kentucky. We're live with the big